I envy Gigi for having two childhood sweethearts. One is a young general. The other is the prime minister who governs the state. I asked Gigi if she could spare one for me. Gigi smiled and patted the top of my head. She asked, Miamian, which one do you want? In my past life, my fingers hesitated between them. Gigi then told me to play rock, paper, scissors to decide. The one who lost would become my husband. The young general's eyes turned red with anxiety. You won against me every single time. Only the prime minister, Zi Yunqi, secretly let me win in the final round. He lost the game and took me as his wife. After marriage, I followed Zi Yunqi everywhere. I tried to recite poetry and paint like Gigi, striving to please him. After I made a fool of myself once again, I was reprimanded by Zi Yunqi. I hid in the study and cried secretly. I saw an unsent letter on his desk. I promised you I would lose on purpose. I married Sang Mian. In the next life, may I be the one to accompany you for the rest of our days? Reborn into this life, hearing Gigi ask me that question again, my fingers trembled. I silently withdrew my hand. I don't want either of them. Gigi, do you have anyone better? Gigi looked surprised. She stroked my hair. She asked me softly, Miamian, are these two childhood friends of mine not good enough? This is Shen Qingwei, the young general from the Marquis of Yuan's estate. He is straightforward, full of passion. The other one is named Zi Yunqi, from a prestigious noble family. Young as he is already the prime minister. He is steady and prudent. Indeed, both are onan a million men among men. I twisted the hem of my skirt. I honestly replied, they are both too good. I'm not worthy of them. Gigi laughed. Her eyes were bright and radiant, like the morning sun in the sky. She took my hand. She promised me, as long as you play rock, paper, scissors with them and win against them, who would dare to break their word? I will force them to marry you. I furrowed my brows. I hadn't eaten anything, yet in my mouth and deep in my heart, it felt bitterly painful. Since childhood, I have always been inferior to Gigi in every way. When I was 10, the horse Gigi was riding suddenly went wild. To protect Gigi, I was kicked by the horse. I lost so much blood. My life hung by a thread. After I was finally saved, my mind was never as sharp as it used to be. Gigi felt guilty for many years. She always wanted to compensate me. But since I passed the age of 15 capping ceremony, because I was not smart, no one came to propose marriage. So Gigi wanted to find someone who knew us well, to take care of me for the rest of my life. In my past life, I mentioned it once, envying that Gigi had two childhood friends. Gigi was very generous. She made the two of them play rock, paper, scissors with me. Whoever Miamian wins against among you shall take her as his wife. My sister is very well behaved. No matter which one of you marries her, you must take good care of her. If my sister sheds a single tear, I will not forgive any of you. Gigi was sincere in considering my well-being. Whether it was Shen Qingwei or Zi Yunqi, they both grew up with her. She understood them both best. Regardless of appearance or family background, they were top-notch. Only then was she assured to entrust me to them. But I really didn't know how to hide my feelings. The young general, Shen Qingwei, looked at Gigi. His eyes were red with anxiety. He won against me effortlessly every time. I waited for Zi Yunqi. He looked much gentler than Shen Qingwei. Refined like jade, Gigi set the rules. Afraid that I wouldn't win, she allowed me to win 2 out of 3 rounds. Zi Yunqi won 1 round against me. As long as he won 1 more time, he could make me lose completely. But right at that moment, Gigi cleared her throat. She gave a light cough. Zi Yunqi froze for a moment. In a split second of hesitation, he made the wrong hand gesture, allowing me to win the 2 rounds. After a long silence, Zi Yunqi slowly withdrew his hand. He stiffened his body, forcing himself not to look back at Gigi even once. He raised his gentle, elegant face. He said to me softly, "A bet is a bet. Since I have lost, I will marry you. I will not break my promise. From now on, I will treat you well. I will try to love you." Second miss of the Sang family. I stared at him in a daze. Zi Yunqi's voice was so gentle. I felt as if I were tasting melting sugar, with a lingering sweetness in my mouth. After we were married, I always liked to follow Zi Yunqi around. A colorful cloud drifted in the sky. The stray cat in the courtyard had a litter of kittens. I couldn't help but share every little detail with him. Zi Yunqi would nod. His expression remained indifferent. He would turn back to discuss state affairs with his aides. Even when I was ignored, I didn't lose heart. Ever since I hurt my head, I have always been more timid than others. Thunder rumbled loudly. I was too scared to close my eyes. I clutched my quilt and ran barefoot into Zi Yance's bedroom. I tried to keep my voice from trembling, but my tears kept falling down. I am afraid of the thunder. I want to sleep with you. As soon as I reached the bed, I was pushed away by Zi Yunqi. There were no lamps lit in the room. I could not see the expression on his face. I could only hear his cold, stern voice. Like a block of solid ice, sang Mian. You must learn to grow up? I asked him in a small, hesitant voice. But Gigi said that once I am married, I will have a husband. And I will be able to sleep with him. Zi Yunqi was silent for a long time. His fingers clenched until they creaked. His voice was hoarse. Did your Gigi really say that? I nodded. I do not tell lies. Afraid that Zi Yunqi might still send me away. I quickly promised, I will only take up a tiny bit of your bed. Sleeping at your feet will be enough. Zi Yunqi raised his hand. He stroked the top of my head.
He said Miami and be good.
We are different from other married couples. Perhaps I am too slow-witted. I do not understand. In what way are Zi Yunqi and I different from other couples? When I was eating, mother-in-law struck my hand with her chopsticks. My nose was turning red, yet I dared not cry. I lowered my face, wanting to eat the quail, obediently listening to her reprimands. She complained that I reached too far with my chopsticks while eating. But every mealtime, Zi Yunqi always placed the dishes I liked far away, forcing me to stand up to reach them. If I were at the Sang house, Gigi would have put every dish I liked right into my bowl. Mother-in-law then said I picked up too much food at once, that I had no grace at all, like a starving ghost, not a refined lady. But if I don't pick up that much, I won't be full. Back at the Sang house, there was afternoon tea. Gigi would bring me all sorts of snacks and pastries. By Zi Yance's side, I have nothing at all. Mother-in-law chased me away from the dining table. She wore a stern face. From now on, go eat with the servants. I felt extremely aggrieved. Tears fell to the corner of my mouth. I didn't even dare to reach out and wipe them away. I didn't understand why her words weren't funny at all. Yet the whole room full of servants was stifling their laughter. I stood helplessly to the side, clutching my sleeves until they were wrinkled. I secretly looked towards Zi Yunqi. He is my husband. Gigi once told me, a husband is someone who will treat me well. I thought Zi Yunqi would speak up for me. He remained silent for a few moments, and looked away. Mian, mother wants you to learn the rules. It is for your own good. I hurriedly turned my face away, and secretly wiped away my tears. I heard mother-in-law say to him, she was unwanted by others. You only picked up this fool because of a promise. Don't you want to hear how the whole capital is laughing at you? Zi Yance's expression darkened. He parted his thin lips. What was he saying? I was filled with grievances. It wasn't until nightfall that Zi Yunqi finally returned. I called his name with joy, stepping forward to give him a hug, but he pushed me away. Later, I realized, because Gigi was coming to see me the next day, he feared the servants in the manor would see us being intimate, and let it reach Gigi's ears. When Gigi came to the Zi manor to see me, she stroked my face with pity. Mian has grown thin, and you don't smile as much. Does Zi Yunqi treat you poorly? I lowered my head, counting on my fingers. He buys me candies to eat, and buys me clothes to wear. He just doesn't like me. It's true, no matter how slow-witted I am, I can still feel his rejection. When he heard Gigi was coming, he finished his court duties early, only to stand behind the rockery, watching from afar. But whenever he heard I was looking for him, Zi Yunqi would instinctively knit his brows, and use all sorts of excuses to brush me off. He had no time to spare. Gigi comforted me. Mian is so kind, so obedient and well-behaved. In time, Zi Yunqi will slowly grow to love you. I nodded slowly. Gigi would never lie to me. I moved into Zi Yance's study. The servants in the manor said, my sister is a talented woman known throughout the world. I couldn't help but puff out my chest with pride. Then they said, how could Miss Zhang have such a foolish younger sister? I watched the willow catkins drifting across the courtyard. The catkins felt as if they had floated into my throat, stuck there, unable to be coughed out. I tried hard to study poetry and literature like Gigi, but over and over again, I still couldn't remember anything. As soon as I closed the book, it was all forgotten. I studied without rest or sleep, thinking I had finally made some progress, able to recite a few lines of poetry with effort. But at the banquet, I still made a fool of myself. A noble lady recited half a line of poetry. I found it familiar, and couldn't help but try to finish it. But my voice was trembling, and it seemed I had said it wrong. Everyone at the banquet burst into laughter. Such a simpleton, daring to join a poetry banquet. Zi Yunqi did not step in to help me. His voice was cold and detached. He reprimanded Sang Mian, "Sit down and do not speak anymore." His thin lips curled slightly, like the crescent moon in the sky. The sharp arc held no warmth. "Everyone, please stop laughing at her." Zi Yunqi drank in my stead, apologizing to everyone. He looked troubled, as if he had no other choice. If she cries, her sister will come to the Zi Manor to blame me again. Everyone looked at Zi Yunqi with pity. Prime Minister Zi is a man of his word. Yet he married a fool as his wife for the sake of his beloved. I couldn't bear to hear another word. I covered my ears and hurried out of the banquet. I hid in Zi Yunce's study. On the desk lay a few thin sheets of letter paper. The ink was still wet. It was signed with Gigi's name. "In this life, I purposely lost the guessing game. To marry your sister. Could that be enough to buy a chance to be by your side in the next life?" I stumbled backward. How strange, why was my chest not wounded? Yet it hurt as if my entire heart had been ripped out. I picked up the ink brush from the table. I doodled and scribbled. In my shaky, clumsy handwriting, I wrote a divorce agreement. "Zi Yunqi, you are not good. You always make me hurt. I don't want you anymore either." Before the banquet ended, I didn't take a single thing from the Zi family. I walked out of the main gate. I traded the hairpin from my hair for a boat ticket heading south. The boatman untied the line. The passenger boat slowly pulled away from the dock. "Where would you like to go, miss?" I stared blankly at the river. "Must I have a destination?" The boatman smiled. "You can have one, or you don't have to." I looked at the light mist over the river, and the moon obscured by the clouds. Where the boat stops, that is where I shall disembark. After I settled in Jiangnan, I received a letter from Gigi. I studied each character for a long time, but when put together, I couldn't quite understand it. Zi Yunqi didn't sign the divorce agreement. He had been looking for me for a long time. I lifted my brush for a long time but couldn't write a single word. And I didn't look back either. In this life, Gigi was afraid they would bully me for being slow-witted, so she changed the rules and made them play a guessing game. Whoever lost would have to marry me. The two of them were desperate, eyes turning red, neither willing to admit defeat. After a few rounds, there was still no clear winner. They both treated me like a burden they couldn't shake off. Gigi furrowed her delicate brows. She pressed her lips together and gave a light cough. The one who turned back was Zi Yunqi. The wind blew the strands of hair beside her face. Ripples appeared in her ink-black eyes. Zi Yunqi stared blankly at my redrimmed eyes, hesitating for a moment. Just as he was about to lose again, I spoke up softly and firmly. "I don't want it, Gigi. I really don't want to marry them." Zi Yunce's back stiffened. He tightened the curve of his lips, his expression cold and solemn. After I spoke, Zi Yunqi walked up to Gigi. His smile remained gentle. "Let it be that I lost. I will marry the second miss of the Sang family." His gaze swept over me, as if he didn't care. "It's just that I am already betrothed. The second miss can only enter the mansion as a concubine. But I will keep my word, and look after her for a lifetime." Gigi's brows furrowed even deeper. She looked at the other man, Shen Qingwei. He shrugged. "I could marry her too, but my mother is strict. A second miss like her really can't be a primary wife." Gigi was furious. I had never seen her this angry before. She chased them both away. She hugged me and wiped me clean. "Mian, don't cry. Those two bad men are not worthy of my little sister." Seeing my sister cry, Gigi blinked her eyes. Looking somewhat mysterious, "I have someone even better, if kept him hidden. I'll take you to see him tomorrow." I stopped crying and nodded obediently. I trust Gigi. Whenever others laughed at me for being a fool, only Gigi would stand in front of me, sharply rebuking them until they were speechless, never caring about her own reputation as a talented lady. I woke up early in the morning, sat at the dressing table to get ready, waiting for Gigi to take me to see the better one. Gigi held my hand as we got into the carriage. The carriage wound around and stopped at the entrance of King Yun Pavilion. Gigi smiled and said, "Miamian, I'm introducing you to the most beautiful and pure young man. You won't have to marry out in the future. He will marry into your home. You will be his mistress. You can make him do anything." Is there really such a wonderful thing? Gigi took me into a private room. Behind the bead curtain sat a young man, with red lips and white teeth, dark hair and long lashes. I remembered what Gigi once read, that a spirit from a book should look just like this. Her skin had a faint rosy flush, like a begonia flower wet with morning dew. I was stunned, my eyes wide. I didn't even notice when Gigi slipped out. By the time I came to my senses, I was already sitting by her side, looking at her open collar. As if possessed, I asked, "May I touch you?" The roots of her ears turned bright red. She whispered in a husky voice. I reached out and touched her. She let out a soft gasp. I was scared to death. I didn't know if she was feeling comfortable or uncomfortable. Lowering my gaze, I stared at her lips. Her lips were a deep red, and the shape was very beautiful, quite different from Zi Yunce's. Zi Yunce's lips were very thin, always pressed tightly together, and he rarely ever smiled at me. As my fingertip touched the corner of her lips, the door was suddenly kicked open. Zi Yunqi barged in. After seeing the scene before him, his face turned extremely grim. "What are you doing here?" I was startled by him, and sheepishly pulled back my hand. I had just been leaning close to look at her. She looked at Zi Yunqi with none of the tenderness she had shown me just moments ago. Her eyes were cold, radiating a chill. She suddenly leaned in close, pressing against me. "Do you think my lips are very soft?" Understanding what she was asking, my face burned with heat. At the door, the look in Zi Yunce's eyes became even colder. But Gigi taught me, never lie. I stammered, speaking in a very small voice. "They are very soft," she laughed. "So enchanting and striking. A blazing radiance." She leaned down and kissed me on the cheek. I was dazed for a moment, my heart jumping like a rabbit. "Quick, my name is Aling. From now on, I am yours." Her voice was like a hook, hooking me until I was completely lost. It felt as if I had eaten a big spoonful of honey, sweet and warm. She said she was mine. In winter, I would have someone to warm my bed, and I wouldn't have to sleep alone or be afraid of thunder. Gigi said I could make her do anything, and she would be willing. I had only touched her once. Aling's body was so soft and so warm. Before I could even tell her to do anything, Zi Yunqi had barged in. Thinking of this, I looked at Zi Yunqi standing at the door, feeling a bit more annoyance in my eyes. "Lord Zi, could you please move aside? And close the door on your way out. I still want to do other things with her." I gathered my courage, though my voice was still weak, lacking conviction. Zi Yunqi seemed to be pierced by an invisible sharp thorn, piercing through his body. His face turned deathly pale. He strode up to me and dragged me back to his side. His pupils were pitch black, as if to devour everything. He raised his hand and wiped over and over again, at the spot where Aling had just kissed me. I looked up, about to speak, and met Zi Yunce's face, cold as frost and snow. "Lord Zi, you're hurting me?" Zi Yunqi seemed to be in a great rage. He suppressed his voice as he lashed out at me. "Do you even know what kind of place this is? And what kind of person she is? If I hadn't followed you here, you fool, you would have almost been." He stopped himself. His eyes were bloodshot. I broke free from his grasp. Zi Yunce's palms were icy cold. In the previous life, Zi Yunqi never touched me, not even willing to take a single step toward me. So I didn't expect his grip to be so strong. It wasn't nearly as comfortable as the man Gigi gave me. Everyone in the world might lie to me, or bully me, but only Gigi would never do that. This is the man Gigi introduced to me. From now on, I am his mistress. I thought I had explained it clearly, but Zi Yunce's very fingertips were trembling. He gripped my wrist, insisting I go back with him. Aling furrowed her brows, a sarcastic curve to her crimson lips. "Lord Zi, you know full well that Sang Mian was injured, and her reactions are slower than others. Yet you treat her like this. Forcing her, who Mian likes, is who she should be with. Her voice was as gentle as Gigi's. Zi Yunce's gaze met hers. The next instant, Zi Yunqi covered my eyes. Don't look at Aling. She is very dirty. Don't look at her anymore. I pushed Zi Yunce's hand away. I didn't understand. Aling was very clean, and she even smelled fragrant from a bath. How was she dirty at all? Aling raised her face. Her eye corners flushed red, looking pitiful. Mistress, I have never been with anyone else. I am cleaner than Lord Zi. In both body and mind, I am only yours. I looked at Zi Yunqi with even more dissatisfaction. Zi Yunqi wanted to argue, his lips moving for a long time, but not a sound came out. I glanced at the sky outside the window. Twilight was falling. The setting sun looked like a runny egg yolk. It was already getting late. If I went back too late, Mother would worry. I had to make a promise to Aling. I'll come to pick you up in a few days. Since I had touched her, and she had kissed me, I had to take responsibility for her. Aling's eyes lit up, the curve of her lips deepening. Mian, let's make a pinky swear. I crouched down, very seriously hooking my pinky with hers. Her slender fingers were tightly intertwined with mine. After the pinky swear, she suddenly leaned forward and gave me a gentle hug. I pressed against her chest. The heartbeat in my ear was so fast, like the beating of a drum. Was it her heartbeat, or was it mine? In a place where I couldn't see, she curled her lips at Zi Yunqi behind me. Zi Yunqi and I walked, one after the other, out of Qingyun Pavilion. The whole way. Zi Yunqi didn't say a single word. When we reached the entrance of Qingyun Pavilion, Zi Yunqi finally lifted his cold, solemn face. His entire expression was filled with tension. Don't let yourself fall into such disgrace. Believe the words of the men inside Qingyun Pavilion. Those men are best at sweet talk, to trick women, especially when you aren't that smart to begin with. Zi Yunqi frowned slightly. It's as if He's truly considering things for my sake. I asked him with surprise, then whose words should I believe? Should I believe Magistrate Zi? Speaking of this, I felt even more aggrieved. Zi Yunqi clearly doesn't like me, or even detests me, yet he still agreed to let Gigi intentionally lose at rock paper scissors to me, tricking me into marrying him. It was as if Zi Yunqi couldn't bear to meet my gaze. He pinched his fingers under his sleeves. Song Mian, this time, I will not deceive you again. Before he could finish his sentence, Gigi arrived. Gigi asked me why I came out so quickly, saying I thought you two would chat a bit longer. I see this young gentleman has a gentle temperament and is very doting. You've barely been in there for an hour. Isn't that just false advertising to fool people? I was dazed and didn't quite understand, but Zi Yunqi behind me seemed to have understood. His figure swayed, and his expression turned terrifyingly cold. He questioned Gigi in a near-frantic, desperate tone. This was the first time in 2 lifetimes that I had seen Zi Yunqi lose his temper at Gigi. He didn't understand anything. How could you dare to push other men onto her? My dears, that fat pigeon that used to deliver letters flew so diligently that it had become thin from exhaustion. Every day, I would save a small portion of my lunch to feed it. Aling would write me a letter every morning, noon, and evening. He knew that I could read, but I read books quite slowly. His letters were not long, containing only a few sentences. He said he missed me so much, had bought me so many things, and was just waiting for me to go see him. When I replied to his letters, even though my handwriting was crooked, Aling would never mock me. By comparison, the words he wrote were like flowers, neat and elegant. It saved up a lot of silver, waiting to spend it on my wife. Mian, whatever you fancy, I will buy it for you. The West City has new peach blossom cakes, which you haven't tasted yet. The street vendor selling plum juice lowered his price by a copper, so I can buy you an extra bowl when the time comes. As I read his letters, my cheeks and ears turned bright red. He is just too good with words. Whenever I see his letter, I think of Ailing's beautiful and bright face. I hesitated to lift the brush for a long time, and facing the blank stationery, I couldn't write a single word. A gust of wind blew up the fallen petals, swirling like snow, landing right into my inkstone. And onto the paper, I looked up at the center of the banquet. Young General Shen was performing a sword dance. His sword energy surged, and the swords, light shimmered, scattering petals across the entire courtyard. He sheathed his sword, and a cluster of hibiscus flowers fell onto the blade. Shen Qingwei offered them to Gigi with enthusiasm, presenting flowers to a beauty. He tried to make Gigi laugh, but Gigi didn't laugh, nor did she spare him another glance. It was Zi Yunce's turn to paint with ink, but he kept looking up, as if searching for someone, restless and distracted. Gigi took Mother's arm. I'm going to get married soon. My Emian's marriage should also be decided. Mother sipped her tea. Her expression troubled my Emian. I'm afraid no one would be willing to marry her. Mother's voice was very low, but I still heard it. Mother wasn't mocking me. She just knew my mind was slow, and no one would want me. Gigi's bright, clear eyes looked at me. Perhaps my Emian already has someone in her heart. As soon as she mentioned this, the whole banquet went silent. I lowered my burning face, stuttering, saying that I wanted him. He's very good, and I like him very much. Not far away, Zi Yunqi stopped his hand from painting. He looked towards me, his gaze like a candle flame, flickering gently. Fate was not on my side. The unfinished letter in my hand was blown away by that gust of wind, landing precisely before Zi Yunqi. On the paper was a poem I had memorized in my previous life. I only wish that your heart may be like mine, so that our deep longing shall not be in vain. This short poem I had recited over and over again for so long, just to win a single word of praise from Zi Yunqi. But Zi Yunqi was always so busy. I had once managed to stop him as he returned from court, and as I stammered through this poem that expressed my heart, having reached only halfway, Zi Yunqi had already walked away to tend to other matters. In this life, this poem I had worked so hard to memorize. I had written for someone else. Zi Yunqi saw the fallen letter clearly. His fingertips slipped, the ink brush dragging a long streak, and ruining the entire scroll. He and Shen Qingwei were competing for Gigi's favor. With the scroll ruined, he had effectively lost. The young General Shen, thinking he had victory in his grasp, pressed up to Gigi. Gigi gave him a cold glance. Who said that just because you won, I have to marry you? The Shen family is a high-ranking noble house, and mother is strict. If I marry you, I could only be a concubine. Shen Qingwei was agitated and pacing around. That's not the same, Gigi scoffed lightly. How are you looking down on me? It is no different from my sister. If my Emian doesn't marry, I won't marry either. A few days later, the city held a master's banquet. In my past life, I made an appearance at such a banquet, made a fool of myself as always, and still had lingering fears. Gigi invited me to go with her, but I shook my head like a rattle drum. I won't go. If I go, I won't be able to say a word, and will only be a burden to Gigi. Gigi took my hand. My Emian, don't be afraid. Everyone has things they excel at and things they don't. She looked down at my embroidery frame, where the mandarin ducks were lifelike, with every feather on their wings clearly defined. Her voice became even gentler. For instance, your embroidery skills are excellent. Even I cannot compare to you. Gigi rubbed the top of my head. My Emian is not stupid at all. Whoever dares to say that about you, I will tear their mouth apart. You are just too pure, like a mirror. Others dislike you, because they see themselves reflected in the mirror. I nodded, understanding only half of it, and slowly grabbed Gigi's sleeve. She wouldn't lie to me. I went to the banquet with Gigi, sitting obediently behind her, waiting for her to feed me, occasionally eating a piece of cloud layer cake, sipping tea, and watching with bright eyes as Gigi outshone everyone, stunning the whole crowd. When my mouth was stuffed full, I saw Zi Yunqi. I frowned with annoyance. I can run into him everywhere. But then again, he always loves to follow Gigi around. However, this time, Zi Yunqi wasn't alone. Beside him was a woman wearing a pale white brocade dress, looking frail and beautiful. I love looking at beautiful ladies, so I couldn't help but look a few more times. Suddenly, I remembered. This beautiful lady must be the fiancé Zi Yunqi had chosen in this life, the Miss Kui from King. Zi Yunqi and I met eyes. He didn't stare at me, as if I owed him money, but quickly looked away, pouring tea for the Miss Kui beside him, and introducing the guests at the banquet to her one by one. I don't know what joke he told, but it made Miss Kui giggle nonstop. I found it uninteresting, and withdrew my gaze indifferently. The heartache I used to feel after marrying Zi Yunqi, in this life, it hadn't happened again. After discovering this change, I was happy for quite a while. It's just that thinking of the things Zi Yunqi did for this beautiful lady He never did any of them for me in my past life. Gigi spoke with eloquence, her words flowing like embroidery, making even the top scholars at the banquet bow in admiration. Gigi caught the eye of the Grand Princess, who invited her over to talk. Without Gigi, I was left all alone at the banquet. They began playing games, reciting poetry and prose, and brought out a set of Mo Yuyang's stationery as the prize. For the winner, I couldn't help it. I stared at that set of stationery for a few moments. In my previous life, I had secretly saved money for a long time, hoping to buy a set of stationery as a birthday gift for Zi Yunqi, to give him a surprise. During those days, I would mumble about the stationery even in my sleep, and Zi Yunqi even overheard me. He even teased me for it. My Amian doesn't want sweets, but wants stationery now. Do you even know what that is? He smiled faintly. Be good. Don't ask for it. You wouldn't know how to use it anyway. Yes, I am so stupid. Even if I had it, I wouldn't know how to use it. I lowered my head, quickly taking 2 bites of the fragrant cake in my hand. Not far away, Zi Yunqi was still staring blankly at the stationery, until the Miss Kui beside him, tucked on his sleeve, leaned in close to Zi Yunqi, and seemed to whisper something. She wanted it too. The Jiang family's second young lady. A clear, cold voice rang out. Zi Yunqi suddenly called my name in public. He asked me, "Do you want this set of stationery? If you win, I will give it to Miss Kui." My brain, slower than others, had a rare moment of enlightenment. Zi Yunqi wanted to embarrass me again. I remembered Gigi's words. He detests me, targets me at every turn, probably because he hates the shadow of himself he sees in me. In the past, I followed Zi Yunqi around, full of hope to see him. But once I saw him, I became afraid. As long as he knitted his brows, I couldn't help but shrink back, curling into a ball. So I spoke calmly. "I don't want this stationery." Before the 2 words could even escape my mouth, a tall shadow enveloped me. "I will compete for her." I looked up in surprise. The person was backlit, the warm light falling on his profile, tracing the structure of his bones. My heart gave a very honest reaction. It started beating faster. "Aling," I blinked. "Why are you here? Isn't he just a low-ranking official at the Qingyun Pavilion?" The person's lips curled into a gentle smile, and he reached out with slender, well-defined fingers to brush away a strand of hair stuck to my lip. "I miss my wife too much. I couldn't wait for you to come find me, so I couldn't help but come find you first." The places he touched felt like little fires had been lit, tingling and itching. Aling competed with Miss Kui for me. I couldn't even eat my cake, sweating for him. Miss Kui comes from a scholarly family. Her learning is no less than Gigi's. Aling is just a low-ranking official. He is so beautiful, so he probably learned to show off his appearance. But unexpectedly, the final result. Ailing's craft is far superior. Looking at what he won for me, I didn't disgrace my wife. A lazy smile hung on the corners of his lips. He stuffed the heavy set of 4 treasures into my arms. Aling accompanied me as I left the banquet. All the way, I held the brocade box containing the treasures. It was quite heavy, and I didn't really have a use for it. I pondered for a moment, and handed the brocade box back to him. He broke into a smile. His eyes seemed to shimmer with stars. "Do you not like it?" I was stunned for a moment. Nothing could ever escape his keen eyes. If I were to play rock, paper, scissors with him, I would certainly lose every single time. Without paying attention, I let my inner thoughts slip out. The wind blew, scattering the clouds. The moonlight poured down, illuminating the blush on my face clearly. He leaned over and tweaked the bun on my head. He whispered to me, "Do you want to play rock, paper, scissors with me?" I had no choice but to nod. The smile on Ailing's lips deepened. The loser must accompany the winner for a lifetime. This wager seemed a bit strange. Aling and I stood under the tree playing rock, paper, scissors. The moonlight adorned her eyebrows and eyes, appearing like melting, vibrant colors. I won 3 rounds, and he won 3 rounds too. I don't know why, but my nose felt a bit sore. I whispered, "Actually, you don't have to go easy on me." He raised his hand and pinched my bun again. "I didn't go easy on you. It is what I am willing to do, my Amian. It wasn't a wager, so there is no winning or losing. I will accompany you for a lifetime, and you will accompany me for a lifetime." I sold that redundant set of 4 treasures. After exchanging that heavy burden for money, my mood lifted significantly. holding Ailing's slender, warm hand. I bought many things. The peach blossom paste she mentioned in her letter, sweet osmanthus and plum juice. I ate it all. My belly was round and full, until I couldn't eat another bite. The person beside me took out a handkerchief, gently wiping the corners of my lips. The next day, he bought me a kite. Patiently, he taught me hand in hand how to make it fly high, to soar into the clouds. I couldn't do it at all. He didn't think I was stupid or slow to learn. I leaned against his chest, my eyes dazzled, not knowing whether to watch the kite or him. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew, and the kite string snapped. The blue phoenix kite got stuck high up in the tree branches. My heart ached with sadness. I looked at the newly bought kite stuck in the tree, feeling anxious and pacing around. I could only force myself to say, I don't want it anymore. Aling told me to wait. He was agile, and in the blink of an eye, he climbed up the tree. He went to retrieve the kite for me. I tried my best to open my eyes wide and blink. As long as I did that, the tears wouldn't fall. I was just feeling a lingering sense of sorrow. Only with a comparison did I realize how bad Zi Yunqi was to me. He said, a gentleman is true to his word. He was unwilling to do anything out of line for me. Even when the stray cat I was secretly keeping was beaten, I cried and begged Zi Yunqi to save it. Zi Yunqi just coldly lifted his eyelids. Life and death are fated. I cannot save it. It is just a beast. If you want one, you can buy many. There's no need to cry like this. I wiped my tears, feeling lost and helpless. Zi Yunqi is so smart, yet he doesn't understand that some things cannot be replaced. Aling helped me get the kite. The branches swayed, and a shower of flowers fell from the tree. I stood below, feeling extremely nervous. He seemed to lose his grip, tripped, and fell from the branch into my arms. I was a bit too naive. Even I could see he fell on purpose. But even if I could see it, I couldn't help but step forward, reaching out to catch him with worry. Aling leaned against my neck. His breath was so hot, it was about to melt me. I didn't dare to move a muscle. He lowered his gaze, his eyes half hidden by long lashes as if they held fireflies. A soft light shimmered within them. He asked very earnestly, "May I kiss you, my heart?" There was a little rabbit hidden in my heart, thumping and jumping incessantly. In a very small voice, I murmured, "You may." Then I nervously closed my eyes, gripping his sleeves with both hands. This kiss was no longer just a fleeting touch. He kissed me gently. My face flushed red, my legs lost all strength, and I collapsed into his arms. He chuckled softly, flicking the tip of my nose. "My Anmian, remember to breathe next time." I nodded obediently and naively, thinking of using a small notebook to write it down, so I wouldn't forget next time. I leaned very seriously toward him. "Let's try a few more times. You should teach me more. I promise I will learn hard." This time, it was even sweeter than the last. I pointed to my heart. Aling suddenly fell silent. She laughed and laughed until her eyes turned red. "My Amian, you are not stupid at all. You just haven't met someone willing to patiently teach you. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to learn. I can teach you slowly. I will teach you for a lifetime. From now on, you don't have to be so cautious. Then let's try again. I will practice a few more times." I looked at him with expectation. Aling really is a very patient and gentle teacher. He taught me many techniques. My lips felt hot, as if he were about to melt me. I benefited a lot. When I opened my eyes this time, what I saw not far away was Zi Yunqi, looking cold as frost, radiating an intimidating aura. I don't know how long he had been there. He looked like he wanted to eat someone. No matter how big a mistake I made in my previous life, Zi Yunqi's expression had never been this terrifying. Subconsciously, I pinched my sleeves in fear. The Zi Yunqi before me overlapped with the one from my previous life. After Zi Yunqi lost his temper with me in the past, he would give me the cold shoulder for days. My brain isn't very good, so I could only guess over and over what I had done wrong. Aling held my hand, drawing my cold fingers into his warm palm. "My Amian, don't be afraid. He is just a stranger.
Yes.
This Zi Yunqi of this life is no longer my husband. He is just a stranger." I slowly began to relax. Zi Yunqi walked up to me, his eyes redrimmed, especially as he stared at the hands I held with Aling. As soon as he spoke, his tone was very fierce. "Sang Mian, I told you not to be with him. Don't be deceived by him. You wouldn't listen to me, insisting on being so intimate with him. This time, I was not afraid. I met Zi Yang's icy gaze honestly. I like him. I just want to be with him. Aling heard my words, and it felt like he had eaten a spoonful of honey. The smile on his lips was sweet. Only Zi Yunqi, standing opposite, looked pale, making his eyes look especially intensely red, as if he were about to cry any moment. Don't provoke me, okay? I was a bit surprised. Surprised that Zi Yunqi would use such a fragile voice to beg me. I have no marriage engagement with the Kui family's daughter. She is just my cousin. I just wanted to trying this, starting over, to see what it would be like to marry someone else. Zi Yang's smile was bitter. I found that I still couldn't do it. With my eyes open, it's you. With my eyes closed, it's still you. These eyes are not under my control. As long as you appear, they will land on you. His voice dropped, trembling with a sob as he begged me, Miamian, marry me. I'll even let you be the legal wife. I was terrified, and quickly shook my head firmly. No. Being by your side hurts so much. My heart always aches. Eating more sugar doesn't help, and wearing the most beautiful new clothes doesn't work either. I don't like you at all. I only did it to fulfill a promise to my sister. Those people bullied me, and you saw it all, but you never helped me. I looked into his eyes where tears were slowly falling. I said very solemnly, therefore, Zi Yunqi, I don't like you at all. Zi Yunqi trembled uncontrollably, as if he were about to shatter. He gritted his teeth and asked me, Sang Mian, do you even know who he is? He is the crown prince of Bailiang. Do you think he can just marry you? Hearing this, I suddenly raised my eyes, looking at Aling in surprise. He looked calm and said, I cannot marry her. Zi Yunqi let out a sigh of relief. He said to me, Sang Mian, you've been deceived by him. His real name is Helian Ling, the crown prince of Bailiang. He has been lying to you, hiding his identity to stay by your side. Only I will never lie to you. I was stunned for a moment, trying to break free from the hand Helian Ling was holding, but he held me even tighter. His voice was very soft, gentle as ever. Let me finish speaking. I cannot marry her, because I am the one marrying into her family. Sang Mian is my wife. Zi Yunqi could not believe it. You, a dignified crown prince. Helian Ling narrowed his eyes, casually remarking, so what? Can't a dignified crown prince have someone he admires? Can he place the person he admires in the highest position? If Prime Minister Zi cannot do it, that does not mean others cannot. In our Bailiang, women have always been the masters. My father consort also went through countless struggles, using every means to exclusively gain my mother the Empress's favor. He lowered his voice slightly, warning Zi Yunqi, do not come to ruin my affairs, or steal my wife. I watched Helian Ling quietly for a moment, still feeling some doubts. You are the crown prince. How did you end up in that place? And why did my sister drug you and send you to me? Asked about this, a crimson flush appeared on his porcelain-like face. If I say I did it voluntarily, would you believe me? That day, he went to the Qingyun Pavilion to find his subordinates, but was mistaken by Sang's elder sister for a top courtesan of the Qingyun Pavilion. Sang Zi patted him on the shoulder, her eyes brightening. You look good. Small waist and long legs. Such fine goods. Must be introduced to my little sister. How much money will it take for you to redeem yourself and become a Livine husband? He was so angry he gritted his teeth and sneered. Who do you think I am? No amount of money will work. Sang Zi laughed. He's quite feisty. That's exactly what I wanted, Spirited. Don't let dirty things get near me. Little sister, elder sister. The young girl outside the door looked in naively, calling out softly, elder sister. In an instant, her eyes were transfixed. The young girl had 2 buns in her hair, her eyes watery and sparkling, soft and sweet, just like a plate of freshly steamed pear blossom cakes. Oh no, is she poisoned? Why is her breathing accelerating? Her heart feels like it's about to burst out. Sang Zi intended to be even more selective. She must find someone who places his sister above all else, someone who will cherish his sister for a lifetime. He grabbed you and pressed you down, asking how much money you have. I will sell myself to you. Your money isn't enough. I can lower my own price. I'll even pay to stay with you if I have to. My sister is timid. You are not allowed to hurt her. This bottle, before he could finish his sentence, the medicine was snatched away by him. He downed it in one gulp. After getting things clarified, I gave it some thought and asked He Lianling, "Are you still going back to Beiliang?" Aling held my hand, holding it exceptionally tight, and rubbed it against his cheek. "I follow whatever the mistress says. Wherever the mistress is, that is where I will be." He Lianling became a matrilical son-in-law, staying by my side for 3 years. I accompanied him back to Beiliang to visit his relatives. That day, Zi Yunqi rode over on horseback to catch up with us. He had lost so much weight. His once refined and handsome face looked gaunt and skeletal. The bloodshot veins in his eyes had never faded. He blocked the path of my carriage. Anxious and angry, sang Mi on. "How could you accompany him to such a distant place? What if you get bullied and no one even knows?" I whispered in rebuttal. "He is different from you, Zidarin. He wouldn't bully me. He is willing to play with me." He Lianling bought me a puppy to keep me entertained. I like fluffy little dogs, so I eat and sleep with it. He Lianling became unhappy again. That night, he knelt halfway before me, asking if the mistress would like to try playing in a different way. He pulled me along to try many different ways. I wanted to hear the puppy bark, so he obediently mimicked it. He even turned into a big horse for me to ride. Later, when I was truly too exhausted to play anymore, he looked at my sweat-dampened hair and held me as he drifted off to sleep. Upon hearing this, Zi Yunce's pale face flushed with a strange crimson. His voice trembled as he begged me to stop talking. This person is so strange. Wasn't it he who chased after me to ask, why did he ride off in such a panic? On the way to Ziliang, I received a letter from Gigi. She told me that Zi Yunqi had resigned from his position as chancellor, requested to be transferred away from the capital, and set off for the desolate Yanyan Pass. I heard that it is the final frontier leading to the western regions, looking out far across to Beiliang. As for herself, those 2 childhood sweethearts, she chose neither of them. Gigi said they were both spineless, bad individuals. She worked with the princess to establish a women's academy, with Gigi serving as a teacher, instructing women in studies and scholarship to take the imperial exams and enter officialdom. I am rich in poetry and books, unwilling to fade into the dust of the world, trapped beside some man, living a mediocre life to the end. I wish to be a spark. I wish to be a candlelight, exhausting my life with my own faint glow, to cleave through the boundless dead ends for the women who follow, to illuminate the path ahead. Even though the letter Gigi wrote was slightly convoluted, I understood every word of it. After reading the letter, I cried myself to sleep. The secret guard outside the carriage reminded us, "Your Highness He Lian, we are about to arrive at the Beiliang royal city." He Lianling carefully tucked in the blanket for me, with a sour look on his face, reminding them that the mistress is pregnant. "You woke her up. All of you go back and accept your punishment." The secret guard was so scared he started running, but was called back by him. "Don't call me He Lianling anymore. I must take the mistress's surname. Call me Sang Healing. Have you remembered it? Don't let me look like a man without a master."